I'm going to go ahead and continue reviewing a few other problems when it comes to converting between moles and molecules and grams. So unit conversion is an important piece that I want you to be comfortable with. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. Question number 8 on the moles practice gizmo. It says how many grams are in 3.7 moles of iron 3 hydroxide? So you have 3.7 moles of this iron 3 hydroxide, and they're asking you to go from moles to grams. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the first tile because this has the molar mass. This will allow me to go from moles to grams. However, the way I've placed the tile, the units do not cancel out. Moles, I need to get rid of moles, and I want grams to be the surviving unit. So I'm going to flip the tile, and when I do that, moles cancels out moles, and I'm left with grams. So I multiply the numbers in the numerator, and it comes out to be 395 grams of iron 3 hydroxide. You check it, it says you got it right. So let's try the next one. How many moles are in 450 grams of nickel 2 nitrate? So I have nickel 2 nitrate, I have 450 grams of it, and I want to convert it to moles. So I'm going from grams to moles, from grams to moles. So to go from grams to moles, I'm going to go ahead and grab the first tile, and it's placed correctly. I don't have to flip it because grams and grams cancels out. This, by the way, is called the molar mass. The molar mass of nickel 2 nitrate is 182.7. And by the way, how they found out that it's 182.7 is because nickel 2 nitrate has a total of 6 oxygens, because there's 3 oxygens here, but there are 2 of them, 2 of these compounds. So you have 6 oxygens, and you have 2 nitrogens, and 1 nickel. So if you take 1 nickel, 2 nitrogens, and 6 oxygens, and you find them in the periodic table, and you add them all up, it comes out to be 182.7 grams. So let me go ahead and check and see how we did on that question. Perfect, good, right. Number 10, how many molecules are in 325 grams of iron 2 chloride? So I'm going from grams, 325 grams, to molecules. So to go from grams to molecules, I first have to go to moles. So I'm going to grab that first tile. I don't have to flip it because grams and grams cancels out. And this switches my answer from grams to moles, but I want my answer to be in molecules. So I have to grab a third tile to show another step. However, this tile, which is Avogadro's number, it's very straightforward. I do have to flip it though, because I need to cancel moles with moles. So moles cancel out moles, and you're left with molecules, which I want because my answer was asking for how many molecules. So I want molecules to survive. So you simply multiply everything in the numerator and you divide it by things in the denominator. It comes out to be 1.54 times 10 to the 24 molecules of iron 2 chloride. Check the answer, and that's correct. Number 11, how many grams are in 3.6 times 10 to the 23 molecules of copper 1 oxide? So I have molecules and I need to go to grams. So I'm going to go from molecules to moles first. I'm going to use this tile right here. 1 mole has 6.022 times 10 to the 23 molecules. And the units are canceling out, so I do not have to flip the tile. And now I've changed it from molecules to moles, but my question was about grams, so I'm going to have to go from now moles to grams. So I'm going to use the molar mass tile. The molar mass tile is that 1 mole of copper 1 oxide is 143.091 grams. So now I got to flip this tile so that grams cancels out with grams. Grams cancels out with grams, and you will be left, sorry, moles cancel out with moles, and you'll be left with grams. So you have to multiply everything in the numerator and divide by everything in the denominator, and the answer should be about 85.5 grams of copper 1 oxide. Check. Question number 12, how many molecules are in 2.8 moles of potassium permanganate? So I have moles of potassium permanganate, and I'm trying to go to molecules. So to go from moles to molecules, I'm going to grab this tile right here. This is simply Avogadro's number. 1 mole of any substance has 6.022 times 10 to the 23 molecules or atoms. But in this case, it's molecules because they're multiple elements together. That's why we're not calling them atoms. If it was a single atom or single element, just potassium or just manganese or just oxygen, then we'd call it, they'd say atoms instead of molecules. In either case, the way I placed the tile is incorrect because I need to get rid of moles, so I need to flip the tile. Moles cancels out, and I'm left with molecules. And that's what I want. So I multiply everything in the numerator, and my answer comes out in molecules of potassium permanganate. Check, that is correct. Number 13, how many atoms are in 1 mole of iron 2 chloride? So I have 1 mole of iron 2 chloride. I'm trying to go to atoms. This is an interesting question. I really like this because it has multiple steps. So first I'm going to go from iron 2 chloride to number of molecules. So I'm going to grab this tile right here. I'm going to flip it. So what I've done is I've gone from iron moles to molecules. But they're saying how many atoms. Okay, now let's take a look at iron 2 chloride very carefully. This is a molecule of iron 2 chloride, FeCl2. That's the molecule of iron 2 chloride. But how many atoms does a single molecule have? It has 1 iron and 2 chlorines. 1 iron and 2 chlorines means it has a total of 3 atoms. So 1 molecule has 3 atoms. They're asking you for how many atoms. So now we've got to go from molecules to atoms. So 1 molecule has 3 atoms. This tile looks good. I'm going to grab it, place it. 1 molecule has 3 atoms. But I'm going to have to flip it. And there you go. You have gotten rid of moles, you've gotten rid of molecules, and you're left with atoms. You multiply everything in the numerator. Everything in the denominator is just 1, so you don't have to really do anything with it. But it'll come out to be 1.81 times 10 to the 24 atoms. And one more question. Question number 14. How many atoms are in 275 grams of iron 3 hydroxide? So we have 275 grams of iron 3 hydroxide. I'm going to go ahead and convert this to moles first. I'm going to grab this tile right here. Grams cancels out, I'm with moles. Now I'm going to go from moles to molecules using Avogadro's number, but I'm going to have to flip the tile. And then from molecules, I'm going to have to go to atoms. Now, this is iron 3 hydroxide. There are 3 hydrogens in there, 3 oxygens in there, and 1 iron. So that's a total of 7 atoms. 3 hydrogens, 3 oxygens, because of the parentheses. The subscript 3 applies to everything inside the parentheses and only inside the parentheses. So I have 3 hydrogens, I have 3 oxygens, so that's a total of 6 atoms, and I have 1 iron, that's a total of 7 atoms. So 1 molecule has 7 atoms, but I do have to flip the tile so the units cancel out, and my final unit that survives is atoms, which is good, because that's what I want to survive. And you multiply everything in the numerator, divide it by anything in the denominator, and you come up with 1.08 times 10 to the 25 atoms, and that answer is correct. So hopefully these practice questions have been helpful. Please make sure you practice them, because you'll have to do this on your own on a test, and you won't have tiles to help you. You'll have to come up with these tiles yourself. So it's important that you practice and familiarize yourself with them.